Desire doesn't start with a choice. It begins quietly, long before you realize it, in the deeper layers of the brain, where instincts, memories, and emotions shape what you want. You don't decide who you're drawn to. You don't decide what becomes meaningful. And you don't decide what keeps you up at night replaying possibilities. Desire moves through your mind like a hitting force, changing the way you see people, how you imagine the future, and how your body reacts when something feels possible. These are the hidden psychological and neurological truths about desire, and the real reason you want what you want. Number 1. Desire begins before you realize it. Desire doesn't start with conscious thought. Your brain recognizes something, a memory, a sensation, a familiar pattern, and reacts instantly. The subconscious decides first, your awareness comes later. The wanting begins quietly. Before you understand the feeling, your brain is already collecting signals and connecting them to past experiences. It compares what it sees to the emotions you felt before. You feel the pull before you understand it. You start imagining possibilities before you know why. It's instinct, memory, and prediction working together. Your mind moves towards something, and only afterward you explain it with logic. Desire begins in instinct, not in choice. Your conscious mind is just catching up. Number 2, we desire what feels familiar. We think we want what's good for us, but the brain craves what it recognizes. This is why people return to old patterns, old attractions, and old emotional habits. The familiar feels safe, not because it's healthy, but because the mind understands it. It's predictable. It's known. It feels like home. Even when the familiar has hurt you, your brain still sees it as less risky than the unknown. Comfort beats improvement. The brain would rather repeat what it knows than gamble on something unfamiliar. Desire doesn't chase improvement. It chases comfort. The mind always chooses what it remembers. Number 3, the brain desires the anticipation, not the reward. The excitement doesn't come from getting what you want. It comes from imagining it. Dopamine spikes in the moments before the reward, not after. That's why wanting feels so powerful. It's the thrill of what might happen, the tension of almost, the story your brain is building in advance. Anticipation stimulates imagination, prediction, expectation. Your mind rehearses the best outcome and turns it into an emotional event. You aren't addicted to the reward. You are addicted to the anticipation of it. That moment before the outcome is where desire is strongest. Number 4, dopamine doesn't make you happy, it makes you chase. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure, it's the chemical of pursuit. It pulls you towards something by creating urgency and excitement. You feel energized, you feel restless, you feel the need to move closer. And that's the trick. Dopamine doesn't reward you for getting what you want. It rewards you for moving toward it. You feel alive in the chase because your brain is pushing you into action. This is why rewards often feel disappointing once you finally achieve them. The mind relaxes, the surge fades, and you realize the real high came from the anticipation, not the outcome. The reward doesn't satisfy you, the chase does. Desire is momentum. Number 5, desire is linked to survival. The brain doesn't treat desire lightly. When you want something deeply, your mind assumes it's essential. It reacts as if losing that thing would threaten you. It pushes you to get closer, louder, faster. The body responds with energy and urgency as though survival depends on it. That's because desire once meant real survival. Food, warmth, connection, protection. The brain evolved to treat strong wanting as life and death information. Desire becomes a survival signal, not because the object is necessary, but because your brain believes it is. It confuses emotional need with physical need. Number 6, we desire what we fear losing. Fear intensifies desire. If something feels uncertain, valuable, or at risk, The brain magnifies its importance. We cling to people we think might leave. We chase opportunities that might disappear. We protect what we aren't sure we can keep. Scarcity changes the mind. When you believe something isn't guaranteed, desire spikes to protect it. We want things more when we're afraid to lose them. Desire is fed by scarcity. The less certain it feels, the more your brain wants it. Number 7. Desire grows when it's forbidden. The mind is wired to chase limitations. If something feels out of reach, unavailable, or dangerous, the brain assumes it must be valuable. It's the same mechanism that makes restricted things feel meaningful. We want what we can't have, not because it's better, but because we hate boundaries. The forbidden becomes magnetic. It triggers curiosity, longing, and fantasy. Desire intensifies when there are boundaries. The brain interprets restriction as importance. Number 8. We don't desire love, we desire being chosen. Being wanted is one of the strongest rewards the brain can experience. It activates the emotional centers responsible for connection and identity. It's not the relationship we crave, it's the recognition, the feeling of mattering, the proof that we're seen, that we belong. The brain remembers moments of validation more strongly than moments of affection. We want the feeling of being selected. Desire is often the hunger to be chosen. Number 9. Most desires come from memory. We don't want randomly. We want based on experience. Your brain remembers the time someone or something gave you comfort, attention, excitement, or validation. It stores those moments as rewards and tries to recreate them in the present. Desire is a pattern built from memory. We chase the echoes of the past, not because they're right, but because they're familiar. Desire is repetition of the past, a memory becoming a magnet. Number 10. The brain wants novelty more than pleasure. Novelty activates dopamine more strongly than happiness. That's why first times feel intense and repetition fades. The brain searches for surprise, not stability. It wants the unknown. It wants the rush of discovering something new. We think we're chasing pleasure, but novelty is more powerful. The newness creates the emotional high. Desire isn't about satisfaction, it's about discovery. The brain rewards exploration. Number 11. Desire and pain share the same brain circuits. The brain uses the same pathways for craving as it does for emotional hurt. That's why longing can ache like heartbreak. When you want something, the brain triggers the same system as when you lose something. Craving feels like a wound. Desire can hurt. The craving itself can feel sharp, hollow, overwhelming. Hoping and hurting become the same experience. The brain treats them almost the same. Number 12. Desire shows you the best-case scenario first. The mind doesn't show you reality. It shows you potential. The perfect moment. The perfect future. The ideal version of what might happen. Your brain prefers fantasy over truth. It leads with possibility. It imagines the best outcome before it shows you the risk. It shows you the dream before it shows you the facts. Desire begins with perfection, then reality follows. Desire isn't accidental. It's law. It's pattern. It's psychology. It begins in the subconscious, grows in memory, and moves through the brain like a survival instinct. It's not a simple feeling. It's one of the deepest forces in the mind. And this is only the beginning. Because desire doesn't just shape what you want, it shapes who you are.